All right, I'm out here at Circle C Disc Golf Course in Austin. It's a great course, beautiful day today, and I'm gonna try for the first time to record my full round, mostly just for myself to watch, document my progress, and look for areas to improve. I'm about a week away from 5 months into starting disc golf, and here's what I'm working on today. So I have a tendency to finish my reach back too early before my brace is landing, and I'm extending my elbow as I coil. So with exaggeration, if I have my arm fully extended and I coil, the arm has momentum to come into the body. So the shoulder angle here, you want it to be 90 degrees. But if I finish coiling and my arm is extended and I'm just waiting for the brace, by the time I brace, this angle here has collapsed, is what they call it. When the upper arm starts touching the chest, that's really bad. It's increased risk of injury, reduced power, and reduced accuracy. And you end up either having to throw like this, where you're rounding, or you can drive the elbow and recover from that position if you're not doing it too severely. So to work on that, what I'm trying to do, probably won't get it right for a while, is to coil and keep the elbow bent, and then extend the elbow as I'm coming into the brace. And then the other thing that I'm working on, I have a tendency to drag my back foot, and so I'm just working on transferring my weight forward into the brace more, and that will naturally bring the back foot off the ground. All right, first hole here. I'm trying to pass these trees on the left, but to stay right of them and land in the fairway, because there's a kind of a tight gap coming up after that. I'm gonna try throwing two different 7 speeds here. One, the Eagle, has more fade, and the other, the TL, with less fade. If I can get the Eagle past the trees on the left, then the fade should be good. Otherwise it won't. That skipped it skipped a lot, so I might be pinched off on the left side. I'm going to try to keep this one a little bit flat and more in the middle of the fairway. That might be perfect, we'll see. So there's the basket. Second throw is pretty perfect. And the first throw is a little deep, but it made it through the gap, but it's a bit pinched. All right, time to see if my putt is broken or not. I keep changing styles, thinking something's working, and then on the course it feels different and doesn't work. I'm sure that happens with a lot of people. Really short one, pretty sharp right turn, so it should be simple in theory. I just got a zone, so I'm gonna try to just flick it on the forehand. Hopefully not with too much power. It never feels like mids and putters. They never feel good in my forehand, in any forehand grip I've tried, compared to drivers. So I went long. Should have either, if I put a little bit more hyzer on that, it would have been perfect, or less power. think I'll just try to flick it with a little nose up here. Oh, yep. Now I got a worse position. Yeah, the first one I just went a little soft on it. On hole 3 now, and I'm even. Birdied the first hole, the hard one, and messed up the easy one, bogeyed it. This one should be another easy one, but requires some touch. I'm gonna throw a putter, invader, flat, or a dart. Maybe I'll just throw both. Not sure which one I should do first. Sometimes I accidentally put too much turn on the dart. But ending right, I think, is a better miss here, so I'll do it. That looks really good. All right, let's try the invader. Try to put less hyzer on it. Pretty happy with this. I just need to get more confident putting from this range, which is not even very far. I don't know, 20, 25 feet or something, maybe less. So something I'm going to work on. I'm going to try to just fully go for the putt instead of taking pace off and then missing. And if I miss and have a big comebacker, then I'll just practice those comeback putts and not worry about my score as much. I find that it helps me improve more quickly if I do that. Oh my gosh. Wow. Okay, I forgot how to putt already. I think it's because I felt the pressure of some people coming up behind me. All right, I got some tree gap here. It's really high or low. Now, once I dial in the putting, I should be, instead of saving pars and staying even, I should be getting more birdies on these first few holes, because the first one's long, but then the next 3 are short and should be really birdieable if your putting is decent. So lots of options here. You can kind of do a straight backhand, a forehand out left, kind of a hyzer outright, or a flat shot outright with an overstable disc. That's usually what I try to do, flat or a little bit of hyzer. But I don't know, I have a hard time on these short holes sometimes. So I've also thrown my invader putter outright, but I do kind of want to try this zone out more and put a little more pace on the shot and know it's gonna come back. Yeah, I forgot if I was recording. All right, just flat and low. Okay, that was good. Probably wasn't flat, but flat doesn't really exist. Flat release angle, as in hyzer, 0% hyzer. It's when people say, like pros even, that they're throwing flat, it's usually a little bit of hyzer. And a lot of times anhyzer is just barely above a flat release angle, unless they're going for a serious amount. Surely I can't find a way to miss this one. Better flip it forward for that extra couple inches. That wasn't like a real throw though. That's like my safe, I'm scared throw. There we go. All right, I'm -1 through 4. This is usually where things start to fall apart. This hole is pretty tough. And every time I get a really good lie on my first throw, I try to bite off a lot on the second throw, and then oftentimes, go into a tree or something. So because there's a sharp right hand dog leg, you want to end more left, past those trees on the right, the last trees on the right that you can see. This gap feels, it looks big, but for some reason it feels hard to hit. Probably because I'm always trying to go for big distance off the tee, but that's part of my practice. I want to get accurate with power shots, so I just accept I'm gonna hit more trees, keep doing it, and it's been working. I've been getting more accurate, and so it takes less practice to be accurate on lower powered shots, I feel like, so I don't need as many reps. So let's see, this is a turn, champion turn. I'm just gonna try to rip it. It's decently flippy, but I'm not throwing super hard here, so it shouldn't turn over too much. Oh, well, we do have a tailwind, so it's gonna be a little more overstable. I'm happy with that, I think. Stop. Oh, never mind. We're in the bushes. So I think it was just the tailwind that made it fade harder. And of course the tailwind stopped now. I don't feel it. So I don't know, maybe I should have probably changed my disc to something slower, maybe, or something a little bit flippier. So we're in a tough spot. UDisc says I'm 360 from the tee. Basket's up there. I don't really see any options here other than like anhyzer forehand, but I still have to cut through some trees. So I'm just gonna toss it out in the open. All right, I'm gonna go forehand here, Thunderbird 9502. Just try to stay, I like to end up on the right. And by I like to end on the right, didn't really mean this far right. Kind of was thinking about past mistakes where I passed the opening here and ended up left, back left. And so I erred on the side of the other mistake of ending right. So now I'm kind of cut off a little bit, but maybe I can flick the zone in there. I don't know, should I stand like this? Get a little bit extra? I don't think so. think I'm gonna try to go with more hyzer. Oh, come on! That's such a thin branch. Of course, going for it left me a little bit deeper than I'm comfortable with, but I need practice with these putts, so. So the last hole was a par 5. I saved the par, so I'm -1 through 5. This hole is really tough. Got a forehand out left, possibly, or a straight shot through those 2 trees, or a little bit to the right. There's another gap. I usually aim for this tree right here, so that I can either miss left and go through that gap, or miss right and go through the right gap stuff. I'm gonna throw a Hawkeye, try to go through one of those gaps over there at just kind of like a medium power. I should probably be throwing a mid for the distance just to get to the dog leg up there. I don't know how far it is, like 250 or something, but I've had a hard time choosing mids that I like, just because the grips aren't as comfortable as fairways. So I'm gonna throw what I'm comfortable with first, and then I'll maybe try some mids as well. Well, I made it through the first trees. So here's my first throw. It got a bad kick and ended up right over here, so I don't have a clear view of the dog leg. So the safest shot, I think, would just be a forehand zone to get in position. Also trying to practice smart plays. Okay, that's safe. Yeah, this gap is not small, but it's not big. I usually have a hard time with it, but I'm gonna throw a dart. Oh, a little too much hyzer, but at least I hit the gap. All right, this is for par. At least there's no wobble though. I haven't decided at this distance if I should just keep the arm out in front and try to flick it in, or do more of a full stroke. Oh my gosh. See, that's what happens when you haven't done 10,000 putts. I should have just did the little wrist flick maybe. I don't know. Where was I? So close. Yeah, that feels more like, I don't know why. When you're that close and you do a full stroke, for me, I feel like I need to take some pace off of it, but then it messes with my release point. Whereas when I do those out in front kind of stabby putts, I can put the amount of wrist pace that I want to get a clean release. So that's unfortunate. All right, I'm +2 now. I got a triple bogey on that one. It always happens in here for me when I start off with a decent round. One of these tough holes in the first 9 really gets me, and then it's hard to mentally come back. But next 2 are basically the same type of hole, just this short dogleg left. So throw like an overstable putter or mid backhand, but it's not as easy as it should be sometimes with the gap here. It's not that small, but I usually throw my invader here, but I kind of want to throw the zone a bit more and get more used to how it flies, so I'm going to do that. It should be good. A big skip off the rocks, but I think it's fine. Well, I was worried about being deep after that skip, but the zone is so stable. It faded hard and fast. So there's kind of a drop behind the basket, which makes me want to do like a safer, loftier putt, but I'm practicing going for it, so oh man. Now I'm pretty far down here. Gotta go for it again. I think I half went for it and didn't have the pace for it to come out of the hand cleanly. Well, yeah, I'm gonna try the zone again, but it also didn't go as far as I thought it would last time. The basket's like that middle tree, it's like 30 feet down into the left of that middle tree, so I'm just kind of aiming at that tree and expecting to fade before then. But if you go right of the tree, it's usually fine. Oh no, too high, and I don't really have anything other than just get it back out to the fairway. Alright, there's the basket. I don't really have a putt chance here, at least for myself, but I'm gonna try to use the dart, put it on a little bit of Anheuser, and although there's that little tree hanging over that's kind of blocking the height I want, so I have to kind of punch it harder. Well, this was my second shot off the tee. I should just keep throwing this disc probably here, but gotta get used to the new ones somehow. And I'm +3 through 8. Now this one's just not that long, but it's uphill, so it does feel like you have to throw it a little bit harder. And what does uphill do? It makes it more overstable, I think. So maybe I throw a flippy 7-speed. I never usually throw this one. I usually throw like the Hawkeye, but let's see, this might let me throw a little bit of hyzer, which I'm more comfortable with. Okay, well, I made it onto the platform up there, which is pretty good, but too much hyzer. So and a little too high, I think. This is my Flippy Mako. Not as much hyzer. Let's see if I can make that correction. I think I did, but as I suspected, I didn't get as far, but I also threw it lower as well. So this Flippy Mako might be the right disc choice. Just a little bit higher, and I would have been right in front of the basket. Never been over here before. I mean, this disc could work if I just threw it on a little bit less hyzer. All different types of misses.